All right, let's get it going right here, right now. This is Eyes Up Here, and you're watching all of the YouTube content that we're putting out right now here exclusively on the YouTube channel for Eyes Up Here. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single week I'm joined here on Eyes Up Here by the Queen of Extreme, Francine. We are inside of the Eyes Up Here YouTube channel exclusively right now, and we are going to thrust in front of you a ton of wrestling news. So are you prepared to thrust this news out the way we're prepared this week? We're overly prepared. More than ever, possibly.
Thrusting is my favorite thing in the world. I love to thrust.
How you doing?
I'm queen of the sinus infections, I believe. I'm not doing too well today. I don't feel well, but I'm here. And if I sound a little off, I'm a little stuffy. But otherwise, it's very happy to be here. Chocked full of information. There's so much going on as of today, which is what is this, Thursday? Correct?
Yeah, today's Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Day of our Lord 2023.
Day of our Lord.
Or the year of our Lord, excuse me, the year of our Lord.
The life of our Lord. That's how I like to look at it. But there's a lot of things were going on in the news this week. And I don't know if an hour is enough time to talk about it, but we're going to try to get it all in. And plus, we have to get ourselves over at the end. So, that always takes a little while. But,
yeah, that does take a while.
Yeah, it does. Especially with your ego. Good Lord.
That's true. Last Friday we went live on my birthday. That was a lot of fun.
Talk about your party. So you sent me a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, he sent me a picture. Should I show it?
I don't care.
I'm going to show it. It looks like
I don't give a shite.
It's like a dating app picture.
I was getting ready.
It made me chuckle. I said, what is he doing taking selfies?
First of all, why do you think I sent you the picture?
I don't know.
To get everybody all steamy? I sent it to you to make you laugh.
Did you get me steamy? Good Lord. Look at this picture, guys. First of all, you look about 16 in this picture. Can you see that?
Mission accomplished.
Do that. Ladies, sorry, he's taken.
I'm taken.
It's great. He was in party mode. And I wrote back, that looks like a Tinder picture.
Wouldn't even know how to work it if I had one.
I don't know either. But how was that party? What did you?
It was awesome.
What did you end up drinking?
I had my Orange Crush Smirnoff drinks.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them. It was a lot of fun. A lot of pizza.
A couple of those big cans, two cans.
Oh, they were the doubles.
The doubles.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Did I ever tell the story about me at the Borgata buffet on the air?
I think you have, but it's worth a retell. Because if you ever go to the Borgata buffet, there's a huge picture of people that are not allowed in the Borgata buffet anymore.
And I want to hear about your birthday, but I just want to tell this because it's so funny. What triggered it is you talking about the cans of the orange. I bought 2 cans and they were like, I don't know, 40 ounces. They were huge, like this big. And it was some kind of cocktail in a can. It was pink. That's all I remember. I don't remember what the flavor was or, I have no idea, but Betty and I were at the Borgata, my partner in crime, and we were drinking and I had brought these cans to the casino floor and we didn't have a thing to eat, right?
This is always good.
I'm drinking and I drank 1 full can and I was on my second can and she looked she was sitting next to me and she looked over at me and she's like, "You are milk white." And I go, "What?" And I'm just sitting there, smacking my slot machine button. She's like, "You're white. We need to go." Like all the color went from my face. She's like, "We need to go eat." We go to the buffet. This is so embarrassing. I don't even know why I'm telling it. We go to the buffet and I can't even see now. I don't know what was in this drink. There was no drugs involved, so don't tell me I must have taken something. I got my plate, whatever you want to call it, and I sit down, and then she goes back because she had to help me get my food because I was really like it hit me. I was drunk off of this can and a half. And she leaves, and as soon as she leaves, I took a bite of something and I threw up all over the place.
Ugh.
I mean, when I say all over, I'm not exaggerating. It was all over. When she walked back, she went, "Oh my God, oh my God." She took the napkins. I mean, I threw up on the table, under the table. I felt so bad. She grabbed me by my underarms and dragged me to the room where I continued to throw up in the trash can next to the bed. I had on black Uggs that were covered in pink. I threw up all over the bathroom, everywhere, from this stupid drink, these stupid cans that I will never drink again. And I don't remember what the brand was or what they were good going down, but my God.
You got to be careful. You have to be careful. You know,
like it was like I ran into a brick wall and it was like, whoa, like a light switch. Like I'm effed up. Like what is going on?
Yeah. They'll do it.
40 ounces. Were they like the big 40s?
Oh, they were.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They'll get you, but you gotta pair them. You gotta watch what you eat with it. You
gotta eat with it. That's
you gotta eat.
You have to eat something. I didn't eat a thing all day because I don't do breakfast. I eat no breakfast in the morning. I just drink coffee. But this hit me, and let me tell you, I think when for like a year, I would walk by the buffet like this, like covering my face. I swear I'm on the wall of shame.
Yeah, there's a couple walls and lists that you're on, I've heard, from the Borgata.
No, just the one. That's the only time that happened. Just one time. The other time I threw up was with Mikey, and it was at the hotel. So that's fine. And we told that story too.
Yes.
Look, I'm not above making fun of myself on here. I'm human. It happens. Everybody out there has a story, whether they want to admit it or not. They're probably scared to admit it.
Oh, I have my infamous story. My 23rd birthday, they carried me out. I thought the night just started. It was like we got there 20 minutes or 30 minutes before, and I was getting carried out. It happens.
From taking what? Shots
of tequila.
Oh, yeah, tequila. Oh, forget it.
Oh, I was done.
But at least you didn't throw up all over your shoes and all over the...
No, it was in the toilet.
Yeah, see, I couldn't make the toilet. It was just like, blah, blah.
It was an overflowing, disgusting toilet of a men's bathroom in Jack's in West Long Branch, New Jersey. But
there you go.
Nonetheless.
Are you on the wall of shame there?
Probably. But that did not happen last week.
Okay, getting back to your birthday.
Yeah, it was much more tame and much more, light and happy.
Okay.
And, everybody had a great time. It was all good,
Party I wasn't invited to, by the way.
And, I'm going to save you for the big one, for the bash, the one that tears the house down. That's the one 50th? You're going to be at.
The 50th?
Oh man, I don't even want to think that high.
That's the one. What's next? 42. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
you don't get a big party until you're like the big 5-0.
Yeah, I don't even want to think that high. That's too much.
Friends, then. I think I'm going to cut you off by then. That's 9 years away. It's 9 years away. You think you're in 9 years? I'll be 60. Good Lord, am I going to still be doing this at 60? I'll probably have a new throw up story at 62.
There'll be a clamoring for more wrestling stories by the time. I would think by then you might have told everything, right?
All I could do is comment on what's happening now. You know what I mean? At age 60, yeah, I think I probably told all my stories.
I'd be like, the night the line was crossed again.
I don't remember anything now.
And again.
What do you think I'm going to remember in like almost 10 years from now? You're nuts. But I'm glad you had a good birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's fun.
Like I said, good time had by all.
Good for you. I was secretly hoping that y'all bit the big one and it sucked so I can laugh and say, ha ha, If
Jade
I was
Cargill.
there, I would have been the life of the
You
party.
really are a heel. They were right.
I am. But what's going on in the news? Let's dive right into it.
All right. Well, I mean, there's a lot, so we can kind of go a couple different routes. Um, one thing I think we can really kind of start with, I would say, the biggest news of the week probably would be the signing of Jade Cargill
Okay.
to WWE. The Kenny Omega comments we'll get to on the second half of the conversation, but Jade Cargill signs multi-year deal with WWE. I can't say that was like a shock. It's been heavily anticipated. She had a pretty decent send off from AEW. She reports to the Performance Center, which, in this day and age, I guess that's like the new, like pecking order for most signees is that you go right to the Performance Center. But nonetheless, second biggest AEW star behind Cody Rhodes to sign with WWE, Jade Cargill.
Yeah. Well, Brian Pillman Jr. is with them now.
Yeah, we can talk.
Well.
We absolutely talk about him too.
That one when it happened. But yeah, they showed. I saw a video of her like walking, like strutting into the Performance Center. WWE put that one up. So it looks to me like they're going to invest some time and money into her character. There was a trademark also. Shoot, what was the name? Like Jada something or other, and people are speculating that that's going to be her new name change. Nothing is written in stone though, but that's the rumor that I saw. The trademark name of, I think, Jada. What was it?
I don't have that pulled up, but
Okay.
that's a mistake. If I were them, that's a mistake, because even though AEW is not a, I mean, you say long-term promotion. Yes, they've been around for about 5 years, but at least she's been doing media and she has been outside the, yes.
Jada Parker was trademarked.
Okay.
So there's speculation that it's going to be her new name. I don't quote me on that, guys, but that's,
if they give her that name, that is absolute dog shit.
Oh, wait. Now there's another story. Breaking news. Jade will keep her name.
Okay.
Let's see. The Jada Parker trademark. Blah, blah, blah.
That would be dead on arrival if she got a name change. Because I mean, look, we talked about it last week with the releases. Some people can benefit from it if we don't know who they are. Others, it is just an absolute, just 100%. The name is the most recognizable thing. It doesn't work for everybody.
Here's what it is. It's her real name.
Jada Parker?
No, Jade Cargill.
Oh, okay.
It's her real name. So I'm assuming they're going to do what they did with me. And in the contract, it says borrowed, because they can't license your real name. It's your birth name.
Right.
So that's why I was allowed to keep it, because it's my birth name. They couldn't take it from me. So I guess she got lucky with that, because a lot of times you just go there and they just change up your name. And, when you have a fan following, it's confusing. Oh, my name used to be A, now it's B. It's like, just,
And that's what I thought too. It's like, why would you ever want to change somebody who you recognize?
Right. Well, because it wasn't their creation. But in this case, her mother created her, and therefore she gets to keep her name.
So would you agree? Second biggest signing behind Cody?
I mean, well, who else went over besides Brian? Were there any other people who jumped?
Well, would you put her on the same level as Cody, or would you put Cody maybe a tier above?
Yeah, I'd put Cody above her, just for the simple fact that she hasn't had that much experience. Not taking away from, her being a star there, because they absolutely pushed her to the moon.
Right.
But her compared to Cody, I would say Cody's a bigger star.
Yeah.
But no knocking Jade. I mean, she's got a lot accomplished in the short time that she's been in the business. Plus, her physique is out of this world. Like, she is a specimen to behold. Her body is unlike any other, I think, females in the business right now. I mean, there's girls that are cut and lean and look great, but she literally looks like she is chiseled from stone.
Yeah.
Perfect body builder physique. She's getting some criticism. I went into the comment section on WWE, and it was about 50-50. A lot of people are excited, and a lot of people are saying that she looks like a man. Like, why is she here? She did nothing in AEW. It's yeah. Well, you have your haters. Everybody has the haters,
Yeah.
I hope she proves everybody wrong and she kills it out there,
Yeah.
But God, you can't take away from her looks. Like, whether you like that kind of physique or not, it is impressive.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, of any, by any stretch. I haven't really watched her matches, so I can't give a big critique on
Me
her
neither.
body of work. But, the only person I could really say you could compare her to, from that kind of look, is Jazz, because Jazz is also Jack, but she's like a foot taller than Jazz.
I was going to say Jazz didn't have the height that
right.
Jade had.
So it's like stand two Jazzes on top of Jazz.
Jazzes.
And it's funny, that's the only other person that you could compare her to, because Jazz was always 3 times more jacked than anybody else on the women's roster.
Right.
But was just a specimen, and Jade Cargill is 3 times more built and jacked than anybody else, and is twice as big as anybody else. So it's an interesting comparison, I think, with her and Jazz.
Yeah.
And WWE always pushed Jazz. So curious to see what they would do.
I don't agree.
We had, we talked to Jazz. No, Jazz always had a good spot until she didn't. When they brought her in, they gave her the belt, and they start and stopped her a lot of times.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they always pushed her. She did shine for a moment, but I think she deserved more than what she got.
Yeah, that I agree with. Okay. Yes, that's fair.
As far as Jade goes, I've never met her. Okay, so this is not my opinion, but I've heard people that work there. A couple people have told me that she's not the nicest person in the locker room. I've heard that she made a lot of the girls cry. I don't know if that's true or not. People have said that about me, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So I take that with a grain of salt. But with that being said, you have to have, you have to be humble walking into this environment, because you're new to the locker room. You can't walk in with an "I'm better than you" attitude. So if that's the case, it's going to be interesting to see how she blends in with the other girls, and how they take to her. Will there be jealousy? Will she get along with people? She doesn't have that much experience. So are they going to throw her in the ring with somebody that is an established worker? Because from what I hear, she's going right to the main roster. So
she should.
You would think that, she'd be with the likes of a Charlotte Flair or a Becky Lynch or something like that, in my opinion. Now, I know Becky's in NXT, but I'm just talking caliber of worker. So it'll be interesting to see, how they use her, what they do with her. Hopefully it's not one of those things where they build her up just to bring her down, because we've seen that in the past. Let's, call a spade a spade. They're known to do something like that with talent. So hopefully, the investment's worth it, and everybody does well. Now, the Kenny Omega comments, I have not heard, so I don't know what that is.
Before I get to Kenny, but that's going to piggyback off of the comments I shared about Jungle Boy. He's got an ego. What has Jungle Boy essentially done in AEW or in his wrestling career, right? Jade has been in the wrestling world for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But she's got this massive ego.
Well, we don't know that. I'm just saying.
Rumors. And look, it's on good authority from the stuff I heard about Jungle Boy, and other rumors swirly than what, you may have heard about Jade's personality.
Mm-hmm.
What's the backdrop to both of those stories, where they came from and where they were brought up? So that's the thing that I think is just a negative. And there were 3 letters that are associated with a company that's no longer in business, that a lot of people also had that same exact head that was big. And those letters are WCW, and that company went out of business 17 years ago. So,
well, here's the difference, I believe. We've said this before. Tony Khan lets them get away with murder. Okay. It's going to be a different thing in WWE. I don't think they're going to tolerate that behavior. And, they'll check you. There'll be people watching. There's always somebody watching. I'm telling you. And I told you, I got in trouble for keeping to myself and for not politicking. You can't do right by them. It's like, what do you do that's going to get an approval from the office?
yeah.
Like, in my opinion, politicking isn't the best thing to do. But they wanted me to, and I didn't do it. And I got heat for it. So who knows what they're looking for? Who knows discipline actions that are going to be taken? I just know that if there's trouble in that locker room, somebody's going to stooge it off. She's going to have a meeting with someone, and it might not end well. So maybe she walked in humble as pie, and just doing her deal. So maybe somebody smartened her up and told her, hey, that's a different entity. You have to act this way, blah, blah, blah. Maybe what I said isn't even true. I don't know. I heard it from a couple people. I don't know if it's gospel. But I just find the dynamic like you're a big fish in a smaller pond, right? And then you get there and maybe your star isn't shining so bright. And how do you handle that? How does your ego take that blow?
Right.
Are you going to get along with everybody? Is there going to be problems? We don't know. Only time will tell. But I wish her the best. I hope she does well. And I just hope they put her in a program with someone who can take care of her and make her shine.
Right.
Because she has the look of a star, but I feel like she needs some more time under her belt to get there.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Very, very well said. So here we go. Here are the Kenny Omega comments. He posted on Twitter. He said, this may be news to a lot of fans out there, but when one wrestler goes from one company to another, we tend to always wish them the best and cheer for them while they embark on their new journey. Genuinely, it's embarrassing and shameful that some fans aren't capable of the same. So he's responding to the response of the fans jumping on Jade at her signing and saying, oh, no, the wrestlers all support each other. And every wrestler loves when a wrestler signs with another company. So I'm going to pick the brain of the wrestler on the show here and say true or false.
Well, I feel like it's true. I always said when somebody left, I understand the reasoning. Back in the day, it was a money thing more so than a spot, because at the time, WCW, the invasion, so to speak, they were throwing offers at our guys and they were paying like 5 times or whatever the amount was more than what Paul was paying them. So
Right.
I never got mad per se. I miss them. I miss them being a part of the locker room, but I wish them well, and they're doing it for themselves and their families. So how can you fault that? You're furthering your career. You're taking a pay raise usually. How can somebody be mad at that? Now, the fans that are commenting, again, it's kind of like you have your WWE fans and you have your AEW fans, and you have this very minute number of people who enjoy both products. It's usually one or the other, which blows my mind. It's just like, enjoy wrestling, enjoy the programs. You don't have to pick a side. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're an AEW fan, you can also be a WWE fan. That doesn't take away from your love for AEW. Just enjoy the products and stop fighting over things that don't matter in life. There are far more important things in life to worry about than which promotion is the better promotion. Or I mean, it's sometimes the fans just, I love you guys, but sometimes you guys make the weirdest choices on what to bicker over. And I just read it and I'm just like, really? We're fighting over this stupid crap now? Like, I don't know. It makes no sense to
I
me.
think it does. There shouldn't be an argument because there's no fight. There's no war.
There's always an argument.
But there's no war. Back in the day, in the 90s, there was a war. You had a legit beef. If you were a WWF or a WCW or, to an extent, an ECW fan, you had a beef. If you were a WWF fan, you said, WCW is just our old guys that we don't want anymore. They're doing this, they're doing that. We hate them. WWF rules. WCW's like, we're the NWO's taking over this place. We're the hot product. WWF sucks. We're putting them out of business. We're taking over this joint, right? And ECW fans are going like, no, our product's the best. Both your products suck. We're the renegades. You're just copying us. We're the best product. Our fans are so cool. It was a war. There's no war.
Yeah, but
all nerds.
Even back then, I worked for ECW. I watched WWF. I watched WCW. Why? Because I was a wrestling fan. I watched the products, even though they were my competition. Number one, I enjoyed them. And number two, I wanted to see what they were doing. I wanted to see what the females were doing. Can I, learn anything from them? Can I do something better than they did? Can I take something and make it my own? I watched everything because I was a wrestling fan and I wanted that extra knowledge. In this day and age, to fight over which company is better is ridiculous. Who cares? Enjoy what you want. Don't watch what you don't want. No one's forcing you. No one has a gun to your head saying you need to watch 3 hours of WWE programming. You don't like it, don't watch it. Just because somebody goes online and says, I think Roman Reigns is the best wrestler in the world, and you might think that it's John Moxley, you don't have to condemn them and give 20 reasons why Mox is better than Roman Reigns.
And then go find out where they work and call their job and tell them their employees suck and this and that.
Look, watch what you want. Everybody's fighting online. I don't know. Why? Just enjoy wrestling. It's not that big of a deal. It's entertainment. It's supposed to take the stress out of your life. This is something that you're supposed to come home from work, if you work, come home at the end of the day, sit on your couch and enjoy it and let your mind escape reality. Don't jump online and just fight with me saying.
But that's where you're wrong. This is everybody's reality. This is a lot of people. No, that's the problem.
It shouldn't be.
That's the problem.
There are things that are real. And I'm not saying, wrestling's fake. I'm not going that route. Real important in your life, your family, your friends, your job, your health. Wrestling is not on that tier. Wrestling is entertainment. It should be just for the purpose of just escaping reality.
Yeah.
Enjoying a product.
Yeah. And it used to be 2 hours on Monday night, 1 hour on Friday night, 1 hour on Saturday night, 2 hours maybe on a Thursday night. That was it.
17 hours now.
Now it's, oh shit, it's Monday. Yeah. Oh no, it's
Every
Tuesday. Day. Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, it's Thursday. Oh, it's Friday.
But you don't have to watch 5 nights a week. Watch what you want. Watch what you want and stop bitching about the programs that you don't like or fighting with people about the wrestlers you don't like, because not everybody shares your opinion. Look at this schmuck I got to work with. We don't share the same opinion, but we coexist and we get along.
Somebody else.
Correct? I'm talking to you, bro.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought somebody else was on the call.
No, bro, it's you.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're really trying to get schmuck over, huh?
Boy, I love the schmuck needs a t-shirt. I don't know why everybody's so salty at everybody. It's just like, just enjoy. Just be a fan. Just enjoy the product. Have a good time. And if you don't like something, turn the channel or go get a snack or go to the bathroom. Stop bitching and moaning. God, grow up. That's what I say.
Grow up, indeed.
Kind of like said. That's what she says right there.
Kind of like, well, we'll talk about this guy because he's grown. He's moved on from a couple things. We'll say a little bit light here before we get into another signing story. We'll break up the signing stories with a little light-natured discussion. My guy, I don't know if you can see his little bear sitting here on the couch. Marital bliss for one, Hulk Hogan again.
Let me give you a quote. I asked Sky to marry me, and she was crazy enough to say yes, brother. That was his quote.
Now, is this the yoga instructor?
This is Sky Daly. Hulk Hogan is 70 years old, by the way. Sky Daly is 45. They got married last Friday, and yes, she is a yoga instructor. And there was a beautiful picture of the two of them just sharing an embrace and The Hulkster looked happy as a clam, and ladies, Hogan's off the market. So I don't know. I don't know what everybody's going to do now, but I'm happy for the big guy, and I hope it lasts. You know,
I do too. I had him on there. I guess the little one took him off. It's the Hulk Hogan dog that I had.
Maybe the cat
20
stole.
years. Oh, maybe. But yeah, look, the Hulkster, he's been very open about his, his relationships throughout the last 20 years or so, since the end of Hogan Knows Best.
Poor Linda.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's gotten himself out there, but, he's always seemed to bounce back. The Hulkster, he hulks up.
He does. He does. And good for him. Life is too short.
Yeah.
You have to be happy, And
he's embraced this more natural, the yoga lifestyle that his now wife has. He's embraced more of that natural lifestyle over the last couple years from what I've followed. He's been more in touch with nature from what I've seen. He has a CBD company now.
I know he said he's been more health conscious. He's trying to eat better. He said he doesn't drink anymore. He was saying something to the effect of, like, after his matches, he would drink a case or a 12-pack of beer.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't do that anymore. So he's trying to get healthier, and, maybe 70's the new 50. Who knows? But and he dropped a ton of weight too. I can't remember the exact number, but he said he dropped a bunch of weight. And, I hope it works out for those crazy kids, because we all deserve to be happy. And, Eyes Up Here congratulate you, Hulkster. So a lifetime of bliss is what I wish for you. I
just got a Hulk Hogan, Hogan's Beach Shop shirt for my birthday. So I did. My niece went there for on her trip to Orlando. So
well, cheers to that. And I'm drinking my creatine in fruit punch, just to let you know. It is not day drinking. I have my creatine in my fruit punch.
The last time we saw the Hulkster on the Eyes Up Here YouTube channel, we saw, I would assume he was eating healthy.
Joey Janela.
But he was eating at his Hogan's karaoke night. So we saw him eating quite healthily, and heartily, as he was stuffing his face, a part of Joey Janela's karaoke.
The best is Joey's just singing, and he's eating with knobs. And every time Joey would turn around, Hogan would have a mouthful of food. He'd be like, just keep eating. That video is the best, man. I loved it.
I could not watch wrestling forever. Okay. And sometimes if I can't sleep, whenever I throw something on just to try to fall asleep, it'll always go back to the Hogan era.
Are you saying Hogan puts you to sleep with his matches?
No, that era soothes me to sleep and brings me back to actually enjoying the products and liking it and being happy about, wow, I'd actually enjoyed this shit back in the day.
How do you feel about a leg drop being a finisher?
It's coming from him.
You think it's okay?
Yeah, but it's telling when in Japan they won't let him use it as a finish. He had to use the axe bomber. He had to use the clothesline because they did not like the leg drop. What do you think? You used the leg drop in your matches.
I did, but not as a finisher. And I just don't think it's a strong enough move to finish somebody off for a count of 3. But, it was a different time back in the 80s, and it was more simple. And the guys didn't do the over-the-top moves that they do now. So it got over, which is fine. But looking back at, like, some of the older guys when they worked back in the day, I'm like, how do you take a pin off of that? Like, how do you count the 3 from some of these?
Well, you set it up. The whole thing, the Hulk up, the punches.
I hear you, but still,
the big boot.
People today have kicked out of the craziest bumps I've ever seen. They use them as false finishes, right? But then, like I'm saying, today's matches compared to the 80s, and I'm not just saying that Hulk Hogan, there's a lot of the guys that their finish, to me, it's just like weaker compared to what they're doing nowadays. Nowadays, they're killing themselves to get a pin.
Yeah.
And then back in the day, you do a punch, you do the big leg drop, take a boot.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw one the other night. It was from Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago. Somebody hit, I want to say it was a moonsault. It's like no, it was the guy from the Vikings The guy hit I know him as Hansen, Eric Hansen, I think his name was, the big beard. He hits, it's like 400 pounds.
Okay.
Hits a moonsault on the Kofi Kingston. 1, 2, kick out.
Crazy, right? Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
So, checks in the mail, Hulkster.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So then, moving on back to some more of the news, and back to some more lucrative deals. And this is one that I don't get. This one, and I spoke with somebody, did a little research, talking about Eddie Kingston signing a 4-year deal with AEW.
You're not a fan, though.
I'm not a fan. I spoke
No.
with somebody outside of the Eyes Up Here bubble, spoke with a wrestler who worked with Eddie Kingston on the independent scene and said, quote, I don't know how he has a job.
Is there a little bit of jealousy there, or is there?
No, was that he doesn't think that he's mainstream ready. And now he signs a 4-year deal with AEW. So
well, somebody does.
Well, who does? The guy in charge of AEW sees something in Eddie Kingston that, okay, sat on the independent scene for a long time. Eddie Kingston was an absolute staple of your Northeastern independent shows for 20 years. Gets his big break as part of an AEW segment or whatever the hell it was when they kind of first launched. Been there ever since. Now not going anywhere, and now part of New Japan and yada yada yada.
He's so over. Do you see what the comments?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I do.
Love him.
But now we look at that. So that's somebody I spoke with saying, don't think he's ready for the mainstream. But here's somebody who signs him to a 4-year deal. The proof is in the pudding. He's there to stay for 4 years. What do you think on the signing of a 4-year contract like that for a guy like Eddie Kingston?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. To say he's not ready for mainstream, he's been mainstream for years now. AEW is the second promotion. 3 TV shows in a week. How much more mainstream can you get than that? So I disagree with whoever said that. Here's a quote. Now, he's been suffering from a bad back. And he pulled himself off of a lot of indie shows not a lot, but I guess he was supposed to do some indie shows. And he said, due to being NJPW strong open weight and ROH champion, I have come to the hard decision that I have to stop doing indies. He's dealing with a lower back injury that needs to get fixed and will, so he can be ready for all the NJPW strong shows and all 3 AEW shows. So basically, he's saying his body needs to be ready, but he hopes to be back on the indie scene again in the future. That's a quote from him. Okay. He's super over with the fans. From what I understand, everybody likes him in the back. He's good with Tony Khan. I disagree with your buddy. I think he's exactly where he's supposed to be. And if you sign somebody for a 4-year deal, you are investing in them.
Right.
So they see a bright light in him. And that's that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I work every time he goes out there, he's proving that he deserves to be there. So I would ask your friend to tell me why they think that way.
I could see the argument being that in this day and age, I guess he passes off as the toughest guy, and that's maybe the difference. He's the heavy. He's the heavy, of the locker room. He's the guy who comes off being the big tough dude. So he doesn't prescribe to the heavy weight, routine. He's just kind of your natural guy. And I saw a quote from him about that. He's not going to change much about how he has his preparations and I don't change it. If it got you to where you are, then keep it going. But yeah. I think that's a lot of what the fan perception is of him is that, oh yeah, he's just a regular dude. He's just a regular guy. And that's kind of what carried Kevin Owens to his success in WWE is that he's like me. He's a regular average guy, but Owens changed. Owens kind of went with it and made himself more of a superstar. So I think time will tell. Maybe Kingston changes over the next couple of years.
Sandman.
He got in super shape in WCW.
Still regular guy. Steve Austin. Regular guy. No crazy gimmicks. This is me. I drink beer. I smoke cigarettes in Hack's case. I'm a brawler. I come out. That's what I do. It gets over, you know? And I saw, I don't know Eddie. I don't believe I've ever met him. If I did, I don't remember, but I don't think I
You
had.
probably met him in passing at a
I
show.
might have.
He was such a mainstream Northeast
I
guy.
might have somewhere down the line, but I was watching that AEW. I don't know if it's called AEW After Dark. It was their reality show that they had for a season.
Right.
And you saw him in a different light, and he seemed like such a cool dude. Like Ruby Soho, he's very good friends with her. And they show them sitting together, and she was physically upset about something. And he gave her a pep talk, and he kissed her on the forehead, and he's like, I got you. You know, I'm always here for you. And it was just a different side of what you saw in the ring.
Right.
And I feel like that's what I hear about him is he's a good dude, and people like him. He's likable, you know? So I don't know. I mean, maybe your friend knows something that I don't, but from what I see and what I hear, I totally think he's ready. And so they're investing, and they signed a 4-year deal. I always thought it was a 3-year deal. 3 or 5. I never really heard of a 4-year contract, but once again, AEW making those crazy different things.
Hey, you know, in baseball, you do 3 years with an option for a 4th.
There you go.
Maybe they count it as that, but
it could be.
Again, you know, more power to him. Get that extra cash.
Do it.
Get it guaranteed. You know, make sure he signs it that you are getting it regardless.
Yeah, because he's not young.
No, he's a vet. He is an absolute every sense of the word vet.
Look, take it while you can get it and capitalize on it and make it work. You know, the fans are behind him. Tony's behind him. I think the agents like him. So he's doing everything right. So good for him.
He is indeed. Go, Eddie, go. And then again, you know, in the New Japan tie-in is a biggie because they want that strong style. And, you know, he's not going to hesitate to beat the snot out of somebody. So
you heard that there were talks to buy New Japan.
Yeah. I heard rumors, again, just rumors. Maybe it's just all bullcrap, but there were some rumors circulating that he was in talks to maybe purchase a New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is, as they say, cuckoo banana bread.
Do you think he would buy a sponsored slot on Eyes Up Here? I mean, maybe we can try and get
I don't know.
one of those going, you know?
I don't know.
Special price for you, TK. Call me.
Don't know.
I'll let you know. Well, changing gears, you had something you wanted to tell me that was a secret.
No, it's not a secret. I just have a question. I want to ask you a wrestling-related fashion question.
Fashion?
Yeah, wrestling-related fashion question for you, Queen of Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that wrestlers seem to be attached to that is just not going anywhere, and that is the fanny pack.
I knew you were going to say.
Okay,
knew it.
It doesn't matter what era it is, you find them still sitting around the waist of the wrestlers. Maybe more in the older statesmen. You know, I was working with Barbarian a few weeks ago. He still had it.
Shane has one too.
We'll get to him. It's not going anywhere. The fanny pack has many uses. I gotta pick your brain on it. You know, if you can kind of give the fans what your view of the fanny pack is, or maybe you could explain to us what is the fanny pack's use, and maybe it's fashion faux pas, and maybe it's not a fashion faux pas. Maybe it goes very well with the wrestler attire. Why don't you tell us what the fashion or the wrestler's fanny pack usage is all about?
The fanny pack has been a staple in professional wrestling as far as I can remember. I remember when I first started, everyone had one. So I got one. Didn't matter if I was a girl or not. I didn't need a girly purse. I wore a fanny pack. They were really handy because it's worn, for those of you who don't know, it's worn around the waist. And it has enough room for your license, your passport, some money, your breath mints, and any illegal drugs that you might want to hold in that. Not that I did. Mine never had drugs in it. But, you know, it was just a compact way to carry your stuff. And just everybody wore one, you know. I looked in the mirror one day and said, this doesn't look cute on me as a woman. I just had a plain black fanny pack, but I kept it because it was just an easy way to travel and have everything there. When you're going through an airport, it's hard to open up a purse and grab what you need. Like back then, just open my zip. Here you go. You need my license. Here you go. Blah, blah, blah. It's an easy, simple way to travel. They still wear them. Shane still has a leather one that he wears all the time. He also sometimes wears slide shoes with socks, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, does he really? Oh boy,
but
that's
anyway, yeah, it's still a staple. I don't think it'll ever go away. I think it's evolved. I think there's like different shapes now, but it's still click it around your waist. It's still there. I don't know.
All
You
right.
don't like it?
So, we're gonna go through some examples of
Oh God, what a
fanny
riveting
packs in
conversation
history.
is this?
So here we go. If you'd be ever so obliged to
Mhm.
take a look at some of the this is an all-encompassing picture.
First of all, let's talk about the sweaters more so than the fanny pack.
This is a little bit of everything all in one.
Here, what is that about? Are they kind of exclusive club or group that they
It
have?
was, yeah, I believe it was a goof on one of them had the sweater, and then they all had the sweater. So it's something like it was a Christmas show, I believe. But in the middle, Big D, Kevin Nash,
always handsome. He can't look bad in anything he puts on. So he looks phenomenal to me in that sweater.
In the sweater and the fanny pack.
The fanny pack, yeah. Kevin can pull off anything. It doesn't matter. He's big, sexy. So nothing phases him.
So there's one. We no fanny pack resting around the bunt area of either Pat or Bruce Pritchard.
No.
There's a famous one.
We were talking about this picture the other day. I watched a video where Kevin Hart at a Halloween. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Rings the doorbell. The Rock answers. See Kevin Hart's dressed like this. It's hilarious. This has to be the worst picture of The Rock in the history of pictures. I don't know.
And
it looks like a Sears, like when you go to Sears.
Oh yeah.
And you get or a glamour shot or something. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and what's funny about this is like this is probably like on a day off, right? He was probably doing media somewhere.
Right.
And they were probably just like, hey, could you just take this picture before you go do this interview, for this radio station? Yeah. And he's just not thrilled. He just leaned up against something.
Listen, The Rock is a good-looking guy, but like the turtleneck with the chain, with the fanny pack, with the pose, I don't think this picture works. I've seen better from The Rock. Let's put it that way.
I could say if anything I could be happy has been phased out of life, it's the turtleneck. So
yeah, I was a big advocate for the turtleneck back in the day. I loved the turtleneck, and now I hate turtlenecks. I just hate them. I can't believe I wore them for as long as I did.
Girl in turtleneck, different than guy in turtleneck.
I just don't like them for either person. I don't like them.
Is that disrespectful to the turtle to call it a turtleneck? Should we not call it a turtleneck anymore?
Yeah, why is it called the turtleneck?
I don't know.
Weird.
All right, here you go. Ready? Next one.
Like them.
Next one.
Mm-hmm.
How about that one?
God, great pick. Great pick. Okay. So Sabu's got one. Van Dam's got one. I know Candido had one, but it's not on him at this time. I know all five of them had them.
They had to have it. Taz, let's say Taz's shirt is covering his.
It might. or he just took it off and because they're outside just partaking in a conversation.
Look at Sabu's boots.
He always wore cowboy boots.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He always had cowboy boots on. Yeah.
What's in that fanny pack? Any guesses?
Got me. Yeah, got me. I don't know. But look how pretty the sun is setting. It's a very romantic picture of the five of them, I think. Look at the horizon. It's beautiful. I love it.
Any speculation perhaps in the parking lot of an outdoor show or at a venue?
Of course there was. Yeah. Well, also Sabu had a traveling trailer kind of deal that he brought when he didn't fly. So maybe they were outside and they came out of the trailer. I don't know who took this picture. But I love it. It's so old school looking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, whoever it was, Taz probably didn't know that they did it because Taz is clearly breaking kayfabe at this point. So,
Why?
whoa. Him next to Sabu?
Well, what year was this? We don't know.
It has to be. Did they align at some point?
I think so.
Okay, so if they aligned at what 98 maybe?
Yeah, I don't know when this was, but
Because if Candido's there, okay, whatever. But
there was
still,
no social media back then.
hey, brother.
We didn't stooge anything off. This was just 5 of the boys in the parking lot. I don't know what Sabu's doing with his mouth. I don't know if he has a cigarette. I don't know what that is.
There's no vapes back then, so
I know. No, that wasn't a thing.
All right.
It's such a pretty picture. I can't get over the sun in the background. It's beautiful. That's great.
Candido's jacked.
Oh, he looks great.
All right, here we go. Next one.
He's got his atomic sneakers on, by the way.
Yes, he does. Those atomics.
I have them. Ah.
How about that one?
The original triple threat. Look at that. I think Shane still has that same fanny pack. I think he still uses it.
So now these guys are clearly, it looks like 2 of them might have been going to the gym. Malenko looks like he's going,
he's going to Hawaii. He's ready for the beach. What the hell?
The cut-off jean jacket, the cut-off jean shirt, and the shorts. And these 2 look like they're coming from like a paint shop.
I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, there's Benoit and Shane. Yes, Shane, I do think that is the same one he has.
I do. I think it is. I think it held up really well because that's like 30 years old. It's real leather, probably. So, yeah, looks good.
That's a confident guy wearing a fanny pack right there.
That's great. Oh, yeah. Those sunglasses. That's a great picture.
In his pajama pants.
I don't know where those are the what were they called?
Zubaz.
Zubaz, yeah. I had a pair.
Definitely in Florida, judging by the trees.
I think I had 3 pairs of those actually. Me and Shane had matching outfits at that one show.
Yeah. You had your PJ pants. Like. All right, I believe the last one. Let's see who the last one is. There you go.
Luger. Oh, that was on his Lex Express tour.
Lex Express, made in the USA.
Yes. You know, the tour that everybody thinks I was on.
Yeah. He was probably going in. Look, it probably says right there. Record signing tonight, meeting some girl who's going to be on my tour.
Future ECW superstar is going to be walking into the joint. Look, that was the look. Now his is very low.
Yes, his is covering.
His flap isn't tight at all.
His is covering the dickage.
The hoo-ha. Yeah, I don't know. He was jacked back in the day. Look at those veins popping out of his arms. Muscular. But yeah, the boys are fans of the fanny pack, you know. And it's still a thing. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go out of style. It's always going to be a staple in professional wrestling. Quote me on it.
I'll quote you on that. So we had multicolored shirts, multicolored pants, weird boots, atomics.
They were a good shoe. They lasted. They were comfortable. I wrestled in those all the time. I love those shoes. They're expensive as shit too. They're very expensive, but they hold up. If
somebody wants to write a book somewhere that hasn't been done, it's wrestling fashion in the 80s and 90s. To me, that's a book. That's a coffee table book that is sitting right on that coffee table the minute it's published. That is a book that needs to be written.
I just got done watching last night. It's a 4-part series. It's on Plex. I don't know. Maybe Liz would be into it. I don't think you would be. But the original Supermodels. And it told Naomi.
The original. Okay, I got you.
Wendy Evangelista and Christy Turlington. They were the 4, and they were friends the whole time. And they have pictures going back to when they started as teenagers and stuff, talking about fashion, showing what was cool in the 80s and 90s, and then going up to this year and stuff. Such a good watch. I just because you said fashion, I thought I'd throw that out there. But it's called Supermodels. Really good 4-part doc.
Cool.
That's what I just watched.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we have to get Secrets of Playboy in before we get to that one.
Well, I'm pissed off, and I'm telling you, Stars, Heels is canceled, and I am so mad, so upset, because the last episode was a cliffhanger, And
Oh,
now
was
I
it
will
really?
never know. I will never know if Jack wrestles again because he did a shooting star press and he can't feel his legs. We will never know what happens. I'm pissed.
It's just like the wrestler, just like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, but that was a movie.
But we didn't know if he died at the
This
end.
is supposed to be season 3. You're supposed to come back strong. They did a whole thing, the DWL and Duffy, and now I'll never know. And I'm so hot, so pissed at you, Stars or Netflix, whoever is it? Who is it?
No, it was Stars.
Yeah. Screw you, Stars. Canceling them.
Man, CM Punk can't catch a break, can
Man,
he?
it was such a good show. I was so invested in it. I enjoyed it. It was so good. So good. Because it reminded me of ECW in a way because they were such a small little organization. And it was like us, the little engine that could. They just kept trying and trying and trying. And it made me think back to things and times that I spent. And I could relate to it. And it was just, it made me feel good watching it. And then I wake up the next day and it's canceled. I was like,
Oh, man, that's the worst.
you, dude.
That's the worst.
So mad. So mad.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear
I'm
that.
very upset.
All right. R.I.P. To the wrestlers. What was that? What it was called? What was it called?
It's called Heels.
Heels. That was it. Wrestlers is Netflix.
Right. Oh, I'm watching that as well. I'm on episode 4 or 5 right now. Have you started watching it?
I have not. So I had originally interest in it, and it waned.
Really?
It waned. Yeah, I
It's
saw.
interesting.
I'd like to watch it to review it on the show, but
Okay. Well, I won't say anything.
I watched a little bit, and then I was like, steered away from it a little bit.
There's a couple things that bothered me that I don't feel should have been on camera, and I feel like I don't know, like Al should have picked up on this before. Like I don't know if he had final say in what was cut and what was left in it.
Yeah,
we could talk about it another time. I'm enjoying it. I like it a lot. I think it's a good insight into the world of professional wrestling. Like Shane called me and he's like, "Are you watching this wrestlers thing?" He hasn't watched it. He's like, "They're exposing the business." I was like, "Shane, they've been exposing the business for like the last 20 years. Like it's okay. We're used to it by now, you know?"
Yeah, because I'm curious too because of I kind of think reality. I don't buy any reality show that's out there. I'm already up. I'm doing The Rock.
There's part of it is a huge work. So now, you can't say it's 100% a reality.
Right. So the one guy I'm looking at the most is Al Snow because I'm like, okay, I know so much like about things happening in his career and I'm watching him the most because whatever he's going to do, I'm going to be like, well, did they make him do that? Or is he doing that because it fits the show well? Or there's because one of the storylines I heard doesn't sound very believable based off of things that are known about Al Snow.
Well, I don't know what you're referring to.
I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. Well, we can do a members only, or we can do something down the line once you watch it. With that said, I am enjoying it. It's getting praise.
Yeah.
I'm just nitpicking. Like as a performer, there are a couple things that I saw that if it was me in that spot and they showed it, I'd be hot.
Right.
I'll give one example.
Yeah, please.
So James Storm.
Oh, I know exactly what my brother told me about this.
Okay, James Storm comes in and he is going to work with their champion and they want to switch the belt up and put it on Storm, which is fine. I get it. At first it was supposed to be like a one-off, but then if you're going to put the belt on him, you're going to invest some money and some time into him, so he has to return. They tell everybody what his price is to work.
Yeah.
You never, if it was me, I wouldn't want the world to know what my price is because number one, I don't know if he lowered his price for Al or if you try to get more money from another promoter now that they're not going to pay you. Because I saw on the Netflix show that you only make $600. You know what I mean? Like that should have never made air.
Yeah. And he had to go online and say, well, the reason I put it at that is because it was taping on a Tuesday night.
See, I didn't see any of that.
Okay. So he had to go on Twitter because people were tweeting him like crazy.
Oh, okay.
And he said, here's the reason why. My friend called me to work the show, said that Netflix was recording it. it's called an acting credit now that I have on my resume. And it was like a Wednesday night or something. He goes, so I dropped my rate dramatically to work the show.
Well, they could have just beeped it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that. Like that part, I was just like, oh God, because now he's going to have some explaining to do to other people or trying to get a better rate somewhere. Like that was one of the things that I was just like, oh, that should have never made air. So just me nitpicking, but I guess everybody else caught it too.
And I know James Storm has worked some shows where he's made a lot more money and done a lot less for them. So
well, there you go. But kudos to Al, because now, because of the success of the show, they're selling out wherever they go, which is great.
Awesome.
And they deserve it. Those guys and girls are working really hard. And I like to see a smaller promotion thrive.
We passed on Doug Basham, by the way.
What?
We passed on Doug Basham.
Why?
I was given Doug Basham's number around the time we had Gangrel, and we were like, we don't know what to talk to him
didn't.
about. You
must have.
No, we did. I presented Doug Basham. We passed.
Well, I said down the line.
I'm joking.
Come on.
I'm joking. I'm kidding.
He's a nice guy.
I'm joking.
You're a jerk. All right, whatever. The worst. But anyway, I'm going to finish watching it. I am enjoying it. And, I don't know how many episodes there are, but I like it because they get into their personal lives and you see, you see their home life and they're explaining about, what happened to them in the past, and it gets deep. It gets real deep, and it's good TV.
Oh, holy crap. They only had cameras in OVW 20 years ago.
Oh, if they had cameras in ECW 30 years ago, forget it.
And if they were, but they're in OVW now. If they were there in 2004, 2005, they would have police every night inside that studio.
That's ECW. See that picture you just showed? God knows what was going on in that parking lot.
They were like, okay, all right, on 3, everybody run.
Oh God.
Except Taz, you can stay right there.
Good Lord. Anyway, well, right. and we're over our hour. I knew that was going to happen. Jam-packed show.
Told you.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, I knew it.
Well, no, we're not, because we had that couple of minutes at the beginning that I have to trim off because my mic wasn't working.
You were at 1:46.
That was it.
Well, yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start to wrap it up here. You can head on over to this. Well, you're on this channel, actually. You're on the Eyes Up Here YouTube channel. If you're not a member already, then what are you doing? Become a member, like, subscribe, share all our videos. Help support us. That's the main thing. If you see us going live, share our live streams. If you're on the live streams, like the video. It helps with the algorithm. It helps boost our location in that main page of YouTube. Just help the channel out. We want to grow it. Help us grow like a little delicate flower. Just help us get to the top. You're along for the ride. Hop on our back. We'll get you there. But otherwise, you can follow me on social media. It is at Chad IANB on Twitter. It is at IB Exclusives on Instagram. My website is ibexclusives.com. I have a new shirt at my t-shirt store, belowthecollar.com/IB Exclusives. It is called Drinks on Doug. It is now on sale. A tribute to my brother and his generosity for those who enjoy a good old drink when he's in their presence. So please support. And every dime that goes towards that shirt goes right into my pocket. So
great.
He doesn't get one penny from it. So okay. I'm just kidding. Please support. And thank you again for indulging me. So have a great one.
Across the board on social media, you can find me at ECW Diva Francine. And with that, that is a wrap.